Tonight, the White House releasing this dramatic video of the U.S. blowing up a boat in the southern Caribbean. President Trump says it was carrying drugs from Venezuela and that the strike killed 11 members of the notorious gang Tren de Aragua, or TDA.
We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And these came out of Venezuela. We took it out.
Last month, the Pentagon deployed 3 guided missile destroyers to international waters near Venezuela after President Trump designated several drug cartels, as well as TDA, foreign terrorist organizations. The U.S. did pull off a large-scale prisoner swap with Venezuela this summer. Now tensions with Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro are rapidly escalating.
The Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel.
Tonight, the president saying no U.S. forces were hurt in the strike. Maduro has claimed that the U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean is aimed at overthrowing his government, and he's deployed troops along his borders. Tonight, a senior White House official is downplaying any possibility of the U.S. invading Venezuela, but says the president will use any means necessary to tackle drug cartels. Tom?
All right, Gabe Gutierrez leading us off with that new.
When you come out and when you leave the room, you'll see that we just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible, including what took place in Iran, knocking out potential nuclear power for a long time to come. I think within a month they would have had it if we didn't do what we did. But he gave us a little bit of a briefing, and you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time. And these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela. So.
President Trump confirmed that the U.S. launched a strike in the southern Caribbean against a Venezuelan vessel that was allegedly carrying drugs. The president said the boat was operated by a well-known gang and that 11 people were killed during that operation.
Venezuela's been very bad, both in terms of drugs and sending some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world into our country. Opened up prisons, drug dealers, drug lords, everything coming out of Venezuela. They said, and we said, we're not going to put up with it anymore.
The strike comes as the Trump administration becomes increasingly hostile toward the Venezuelan regime. The U.S. State Department has even accused Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro of leading a drug cartel and is offering a hefty reward for his arrest. NBC News intelligence reporter Dan DeLuce joins me now from Washington. Dan, what else are we hearing from the president specifically about this strike?
Well, first of all, the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, was suggesting that this strike against that boat was probably not going to end there, that he suggested there would be more such strikes against the cartels. And then also today, President Trump had more to say about what that boat was carrying and why it was targeted. Here's what he had to say.
On the boat, you had massive amounts of drugs. We have tapes of them speaking. There was massive amounts of drugs coming into our country to kill a lot of people. And everybody fully understands that. In fact, you see it. You see the bags of drugs all over the boat. And they were hit. Obviously, they won't be doing it again. And I think a lot of other people won't be doing it again when they watch that tape.
So that's the president defending the strike, which we should point out is unprecedented. In the past, this was much more of a law enforcement type of operation where the Coast Guard might board the boat, seize drugs that are on board, question the suspected cartel members on the ship. We should also point out another thing, which is that a lot of the cocaine that moves into the United States does not come through the Caribbean. It comes over land and on the Pacific side of Mexico.